So when you think about the type of life that you want to create for yourself, stop taking advice from people who don't have that exact life that you want, that freedom that you want.
Welcome to the Decision Maker Podcast with me, your host, Allie, Bjerk.
What's up, everybody? Welcome. I am so excited to be bringing you this video, and I can't wait to share all of the things that you're going to be learning, because it has taken me pretty much a decade to learn most of these things that you can take and learn from and implement and change the entire existence and structure and business model and really start experiencing exponential growth inside of your business, instead of thinking that this is going to take years, that this has to take a long time, that your improvements in your business have to be slow and you have to work harder and take on more clients and it's going to be exhausting and you're going to burn out. We're not going to talk about any type of business model that's going to cause you to burn out. This is the most sustainable. The easiest way to experience exponential growth in your business is everything that I'm going to be teaching you. Today, we're going to talk about one of my favorite subjects, which is money, but not just money mindset. So we're going to talk about where do our beliefs come from when it comes to what we think about selling high ticket or growing our business to X amount per month. We have these subconscious beliefs or unconscious beliefs about money in general. And most of the time, those beliefs are not even ours. We learned them somewhere. So if you can think about growing up, or you can think about what stories you have about money or what you believe to be true about people with money, usually you can identify some sort of stress growing up about money. Maybe your parents were fighting over bills at the kitchen counter when it came time to balance the checkbook. Maybe it was snide comments about an uncle that had a lot of money. There are things that came up in our childhood that imprinted on us and taught us what we believe to be true about money. And it's not anything that we asked for. It's not anything that we even realized happened, but we've seen this pattern of beliefs that were created for us over our entire lifespan. So when you start digging into that and you think about selling high ticket in your business or making the amount of money in your business that you truly want to make, there's always something in the back of your brain that's like arguing with you and says like, oh, that's too much. Oh, that's greedy. No one would pay me that much money. That's insane. No one would think that I'm worth that much. How could I deliver value? How could I get them a return on investment? All of these little arguments start coming up in our brains because of how we're conditioned to think about money, how we think about value, how we think about our personal worth, and like how much we can, what charge your worth, like what does that even mean, right? Like a lot of people say that. But when you start thinking about it and you realize these beliefs aren't even mine, like this, I have no reason, no facts to show that I'm not enough, no facts that prove that people wouldn't pay me this amount. None of these beliefs even belong to you. So when you think about the type of life that you want to create for yourself, stop taking advice from people who don't have that exact life that you want, that freedom that you want, the lifestyle, the speaking, the books, the coaching, like anything that you see in your future. Are the people who are giving you money advice or judging you for your money decisions, do those people have the type of life that you have? So if the answer is no, which I'm guessing it probably is, stop listening to that advice from them. And even if they're not actually giving you advice, stop listening to the snide remarks or the assumptions that your brain is making about what people will think about you if you're making X amount of money. People don't have to know, they don't have to understand, they don't have to be in your shoes because they're not taking the actions that you're taking. They don't have the same goals that you have. So stop letting them live in your brain and take up rent or space in your brain, because they're not helping you. They're not getting you to that next level. Rather, listen to a mentor who has been there, who has already done it. Find a YouTube channel or somebody who can inspire you and give you just enough momentum to run faster than the voices in your head that tell you you're not enough, or tell you that that's too much money to charge, or that would be crazy to ask someone to pay you that much. Those voices are wrong, first of all, and you don't know because you haven't tried. So I worked with hundreds, if not maybe even thousands of entrepreneurs by this point. And oftentimes people will tell me, nobody would ever pay me that when we start talking about high ticket, or we start talking about offers and group programs and what is the value of what you're creating. A lot of people think like no one would ever pay me that. My question is always, well, have you tried? Have you confidently shown up and sold something for that dollar amount? And of course they're like, well, no, I've never actually said that amount has never come out of my mouth during a sales call. I always talk myself out of it, or I always, say this is what I used to do. So this is why I'm saying it. I always used to be like, okay, this month I'm gonna launch a retainer and I'm gonna charge $2,500 for the retainer. And I'd get on the sales call and they'd be like, okay, so what does this look like? Like, how do we work together? And I would be like, it's $1,500 for the retainer. And I would like talk myself out of the price in a split second because I wasn't convinced. I was scared. It was uncomfortable. I hadn't practiced. That was it. I hadn't actually looked in the mirror and said, I charge $2,500 per retainer, or, this group program is $5,000, $25,000. It's now $45,000 to work with me one-on-one for 6 months. So like the value is there because I've seen the return. I've proven it to myself. I didn't start there. So that's another thing. You can incrementally increase your prices. If you feel just like if saying the actual price would make your voice shake and you feel uncomfortable and there's no way you could pitch it confidently, come down a little bit until you can say the number or say the amount that you could actually, it's a step up in your comfort zone, but it's not enough to like totally freak you out and make you not able to say it on a sales call. And you can increase the amount that you're charging every single time you relaunch a new cohort of your group program, or every single time you sell your one-on-one services, because you're getting more and more comfortable with the numbers. You don't have to set one price and stay there for the next 12 months. There's no playbook for entrepreneurs that says you have to sell the same program for 3 years at the same price. As you add content, as you add experience, as you add more people in the community that will add to the value, as you add coaches, these programs expand all the time. So it makes sense that you would continue increasing your prices as your knowledge expands, as your comfort level in coaching expands. As all of these things grow, you can also increase your prices. So that's just a little side note of like, if I'm saying charge $10,000 for a group program and you're like, no freaking way, I could never say that number on a webinar confidently or in a challenge confidently, try 5,000, then try 6,000, 7,000. And as you see, people are continuing to buy it at that price point, or people are continuing to join your program, even though you never imagined it possible, that will build your confidence in that pricing. I recently had a one-on-one client who was charging $5,000 for her services, and she noticed that a competitor doing the exact same thing, same niche, same everything, was charging $15,000 to work with him. So I asked her, what if you just raise the price to $7,500? Halfway, halfway between zero and what he's charging, I guess. So she decided to do it, and the next month she sold enough of those packages to make $50,000 because she increased her price by $2,500. Now, when you think about it, the more you increase your price, the less clients you need to work with in order for you to hit that same amount of income, revenue. But think how much better the experience is for your customers when you're able to really deliver. And when you have, you're not just always scrambling to try to launch the next thing or find the next client. When you are really thinking about customer experience and you're thinking about how do I deliver the best possible scenario for this client, the best possible experience for this client, because you're so excited to be working with them, you're not resenting the price, you're not upset that you're not charging your worth or anything like that. You're excited to work with them because you're honored that you set a price that you were excited about, they accepted, and now you want to deliver the best package possible. You're going to create an amazing experience for that customer because you're a good human, right? You're here, you care about people. So you're not going to be able to do anything but deliver a world-class experience for this customer. And that's how you can continue to grow and think about it from a different perspective than just charging the minimum amount that you're making assumptions that this person is willing to pay, right? We have no idea what resources our clients have available to be able to buy our package. We have no idea, maybe they have a savings account and they've been waiting for you. A lot of us assume that we're going to be placing a huge burden on our future clients by charging high ticket dollars. But in reality, we can't make those assumptions for people. We can't decide what it looks like for them. And Brendon Burchard has said that internal insecurity does not create market reality. So just because you are uncomfortable with a certain price point does not mean that there are not clients out there that are waiting for you to charge that high ticket amount. There's another thought process that I want you to really think about. When have you ever signed up for some kind of meal plan? Like maybe you found it for free on Pinterest and you're going to start following it. How well did you stick with it when it was something free? Or even if it was like a small investment, like $27 products. I can speak about those from a lot of experience. But how much transformation did you actually experience in the way that you thought about your eating or your nutrition or your meal plan, how much transformation actually came from buying something tiny or reading something for free? Chances are, if you wanted a lifetime transformation and you wanted to think about food entirely differently or think about your weight differently or working out, if you were to hire a nutrition coach or a fitness coach or even buy a personal training plan that's 10 times more than the free or tiny offer that you purchased, you're going to show up. You're going to make the commitment to get to the gym, to track your macros, to get enough sleep, to drink your water. You're going to do all of these things because you committed, because you paid a high ticket amount of money. And let me tell you, growth does not happen in comfort zones. So if you have not created an environment for yourself to be just enough uncomfortable to do the thing, to have growth, odds are it's not going to happen the way that you think it's going to happen. There is a reason, if you listen to lots of transformation stories from people, it's always when they were at their lowest that they did the thing they finally wanted to do. It's because they were uncomfortable. That discomfort created change, it created transformation. My personal story is that I wanted to be a coach for a decade, and it wasn't until I had a client experience that was going to send my bank account into the negative because she had put through a chargeback. It's a long story. But I was a service-based contractor. I was building funnels for people. I was running ads for people. And this client experience was my breaking point. I had to do something different. My back was against the wall. And that's when I finally stopped arguing with myself. Like, I don't have time. I don't know enough. I'm not enough. Who's going to buy my products? Who's going to do this? Who's going to, who am I to make money with my brain and not with my hands? Like, what is this? When I finally launched my first digital product and it generated $10,000 in the first 2 weeks and then went on to make $400,000 in the first, I think it was 5 months, my mind was blown and I couldn't believe it. But looking back, had I not been uncomfortable, had I not taken a leap, had I not trusted myself and done the thing that I always wanted to do, I never would be here today. I never would have two Comma Club awards back there and be sitting on top of a $4 million business. There's no way any of that would have happened. So think about yourself and how are you denying the possibility of what you could become because you're comfortable, because you haven't taken the risk to step out and launch something new, or to say, I'm going to do business in a different way moving forward, or if I have this little voice in the back of my head that says I'm meant to help people, I'm meant to grow a group coaching program so that I can leverage my time and help as many people as possible, because I want to make an impact. I want to create that hourglass of change for people, the ripple effect. I want to bring people in and make them happier and healthier and more successful. And then they will go out and they will change, tens, hundreds of lives as well. When you think about the ripple effect of all of the changes that you can make because you were uncomfortable, because you stepped into something new, because you believed a number was possible and you saw the math behind it, which I'm going to show you in a second, that changes everything. That makes your business and your dreams possible. Your dreams, not the dreams of your parents or your friends or anyone who's going to judge you for having those dreams. It makes it so much more likely and possible because you are going out of your comfort zone. You are ready to grow. You're doing the things that are scary.